Today we've got an amazing guest, a real privilege to have one of my mentors, Tisher Liner, here with us. And we're at the Law Institute of Victoria. Now, I would first of all like to pay my respects to the traditional owners of the land that we're in today, the Wurundjeri people of the Kulin Nation, and their elders, past, present and future. Dennis has got an amazing story. Dennis started a firm called Tisher Liner. That's okay to say the name of the firm?
Yeah, sure. I started by myself, my personal name first.
So what happened? How and when did you start, Dennis?
I set myself up the day after I got admitted, actually. I set myself up in Garden Vale, which was a little known suburb near Brighton. Just called it Tisher Liner. And after about 2 years, I found that I couldn't handle all the work and all the variety of work, and I was introduced to Frank Tisher, who was in a similar position. So we got together, and he sort of handled some work, I handled some work, and we swapped files, and it worked quite well. And we were pretty busy, and then we sort of got in Alan Goldstone, another partner, and we've been merging, and now I think the firm's got about over 60 people working in it.
That's fantastic.
But I retired from the firm about 3 years ago just to concentrate on my mediation, doing mediation, do a bit of coaching, and bits and pieces. Yeah.
What kind of coaching are you doing these days?
Just mediation. Yeah, so usually about three or four courses a year. It's up-and-coming mediators.
Yeah. Excellent. Yeah. And when you look at, if we can just go back for a moment, because I think the story of you joining with Frank Tisher and then creating your partnership for many years and growing such a successful firm, I think that's a great story. Many partnerships fail, but yours seem to have succeeded. So what are some of the key points that go into creating a successful partnership?
Look, I think it's often it's personalities. Partnerships fall apart often because of personalities. Sometimes somebody doesn't work hard enough. That's often a problem. Look, we're both pretty easygoing. Lifestyle was a very important part for both of us. I suppose we could have made more money over the years, but we're both family orientated, and whenever my children at school had something to do, I'd take time off and go and see them. Frank would also do the same. School holidays would take off and spend it with the family. And when Alan came in, we continued. And so lifestyle's very important. At the expense of earning more money, that's not everything. It's a matter of having a good balance of work and life.
Yes.
And I think we got it. And so I'm pretty happy how it went.
And back in those early days when you found the right partner, somebody that had the same interests, the same attitudes to work and money, you then started developing and scaling your firm. How did you go about setting up all those processes and systems and things like that to make sure everything was done right?
That was trial and error. I've always enjoyed technology, and we've always had technology, so all the accounting and all the precedents have all been sort of always latest technology. We spent probably too much in the early days. Before they had computers, we had dedicated word processors, and we had them for a couple of years, and I think we were very happy to find a dumpster where we could put about $40,000 worth of equipment into a dumpster.
Yes. Just
no good. Technology moved on. Firsthand, when we started, they didn't have calculators, definitely didn't have computers. And I think we had the cloud before we even heard of the cloud. But
Yes.
We didn't call it the cloud. It was really just finding somebody that had off-site servers, and they looked after our sort of our requirements just offline. And today people say, we put things on the cloud. Same thing, but it never existed in that terminology in those days. So we've had that for years. There.
And I know technology is a great passion of yours. I've seen, I think you were the first person that I ever saw wear an Apple Watch.
Yep, still got it.
Still got it?
Yep. I go shopping, pay bills with it, everything.
And you love the drones as well, don't you? I think you might have even been the first person that told me about a drone before they sort of hit the mass.
No, not the drones.
No?
No.
Okay. Dennis, the technology in the legal profession's definitely come a long way, and it has changed a lot since you first started out on your own, just after being admitted. What are some of the biggest impacts you've experienced in terms of technology in the law?
Oh, it's really changed. I mean, it's, as I said, I always liked the technology and always encompassed it, always sort of got the latest. But it's changed. I mean, nowadays people work from home. You can sit at home on a computer and it's exactly the same as if you're working in an office. So I think that's sort of decentralised a lot of workplaces. I've got a daughter who works 2.5 days at home. She's a lawyer, and just as if she's working in an office. At the moment, I just do everything from home on a computer. Don't need an office. Everything's electronic.
Yes.
So people send documents. I send documents, papers. It's email and the internet or everything.
Yes.
And once upon a time, small practitioners were really at quite a disadvantage because the large firms had big libraries for research and so forth. And today, all you have to do is have a cheap laptop and press a few buttons, and you're there.
Yes.
So it enables small firms to compete with the big firms with knowledge and access to resources.
Yes.
Yeah, and that's pretty important.
Yeah, and technology probably was a big factor in terms of you being able to really enjoy a successful legal career, but also keep family as a priority.
Yeah, yeah. So even when you're away, you still can sort of be in touch with emails and technology and communications.
One final question I'd like to ask you today, Dennis. Just say there's a young law firm just sort of launched in its early days and wanting to grow. Are there any pointers that you can share on how that firm can grow?
Obviously, marketing is a big thing. It's and word of mouth. I mean, you keep existing clients happy; they refer you,
Yes.
and that's really the best source of work.
Yes.
Having clients that know other people, and it grows.
Yes.
And over the years, you wonder where people come from.
Yes.
And it's always interesting to ask new clients, why did you come to me? Oh, so and so, my friend said, they used you and they were happy with you.
Yes.
And I think that's really the main source.
Yes.
No point putting an ad in the paper because there's thousands of lawyers who put ads in papers.
Yes.
I don't think that'll attract anyone. So you've got to find also a point of difference. So if you find a point of difference, that you'll attract people who are interested in that area. But basically, if you're competent and clients like how you handle them, they'll recommend you.
That's right. And I think that quality of service is such a fundamental point. And it doesn't really matter what industry you're in. If you're in the legal services industry as a lawyer, or if you're in some other industry, by working hard, being disciplined, servicing your clients with a fantastic product or service, then means that your reputation builds and people come back and send their friends.
Yep, exactly right. Yeah.
Thank you so much for your time today, Dennis.
Pleasure.